Quick. All righty, listen, let's start with this. So glad to be in front of you guys. Thank y'all for being here. I know you could be a lot of places tonight, and thank you for coming to watch us play in an exhibition game against Elizabeth City. I know it's special for one of you guys, in Jonas, because he's a graduate of Elizabeth City, but I appreciate you guys. It felt like we were getting back to being normal a little bit. And I know that saying is weird. You think about our roster, we've got 12 guys on scholarship right now, and 6 of those guys have never played in front of a crowd. Maybe, I'm thinking back maybe to the ACC tournament, maybe against Pitt. We might have had a little crowd for that one. Other than that, I don't think we've had anybody. And so it was different, it was unique. There was some nerves, of course. Some of our younger guys were a little bit nervous at times, which is quite normal when you get a chance to play in front of a little bit of a crowd. But I saw some good things. I like some things that we have done well. I know you guys are gonna ask me about Manny Bates, and I'm gonna tell you now that Manny Bates will be available on next Tuesday. This is completely a Kevin Keatts call. I wanted to get Jalen and also EB about 17 to 20 minutes, just so I could see those guys play. I know what Manny brings to our team, but at the end of the day, one of those guys are going to have to emerge as somebody that's going to have to back him up. And so I wanted to make sure that those guys had a chance to play. As far as Greg will be questionable for the opener. Just because he's still, recovering. He is doing some individual workout stuff, but I haven't thrown him into practice. And so overall, I like some of the things that, we did. With this team, we're gonna have to have, 4 or 5 and even at times 6 guys in double figures, and I thought we did that. And one of the things that we can hold our hat on is, I don't care who you're playing against, it's tough to turn a team over 27 times, and we did that. And so happy with where we at. We've got 1 week, just like most people in the country, to prepare, and we're excited moving forward.
But to be clear, Manny was fine. He could have played, but you just didn't need to see it in that room tonight.
To be clear, yes.
Okay. And I guess it's a good gauge of what your team would look like. Say, not knowing Wood, you got injured or got in foul trouble. You got a good gauge of what the team would look like without your best post player.
Well, it's different. Jonas, I'll never go into a game and probably play as much as 10 people the same amount of minutes. And so, scrimmages and open exhibitions are a little bit different because I wanted everybody to play. I didn't go with, I put out there some different combinations that we haven't even had in practice. At one point we had Breon and also Cam out there together. Those guys haven't played together. I was substituting, Dylan. I wanted to get Casey and also Sebron together, but I couldn't figure out how to get that done while we were playing. So we got a lot of different looks at a lot of different combinations that I think we'll use throughout the year.
Is this the kind of team you want to have, Coach? Really deep, and you can press the whole game if you want to.
Well, I think you guys know this. I've been preaching this, man. God, I want 10 guys. I want 10 guys. So I got 10 guys, and I just hope that I realize that we're still in a pandemic, and I hope that we can make it through that or no injuries. But I do feel comfortable with putting all 10 guys, and then when you add Manny, that'll be 11 guys into the game.
You mentioned those jitters for every player coming out tonight, but particularly for all the freshmen, how good was it to see Jaquavion and Breon both hit their first shots and have the nights they did tonight?
It was good. When you look at Jaquavion, and a lot of people didn't get a chance to see how good he is tonight. He missed some shots that he normally would make. That being said, I think when he missed a couple after he made the first one, he started rushing some shots. And as young guys, they all try to determine if they're scoring the ball, they play better. And in Breon's case, I thought he was as solid as any freshman that we had. He made the right play. He made his free throws. He was, the head of our defense and did a good job. But I think when you look at all 3 of those guys, they all have a chance to be good. We just got to figure out now how to put them in the best positions.
When you guys shoot that well from 3, it'll be tough to beat this year. Did you come to the game knowing you had a 3-point team, shooting like that?
Jonas, is so tough because last year we had to shift. We went to bigs, and really our best 3-point shooter is Braxton Beverly, and he could barely sit down during timeouts. And so we got some guys that can make shots. We got some shot makers this year.
Did you feel like you got out of tonight what you wanted to get out of tonight?
You know, the best thing I got out tonight is that everybody in the locker room was jumping up and down because nobody was hurt. That's the biggest thing for me. You know, these are tough. Anytime you do an exhibition, every coach will tell you they're praying that no one gets hurt and everybody's ready for the opener. And that's the biggest thing. I don't read too much, and if we won by 19 or 20 or we won by 40, at the end of the day, I just wanted these guys to get the experience.
You see, you gotta watch the tape obviously, but sitting here now, you see how your team just played. What do you feel like you need to improve on those before the opener?
Well, I think I'm like every coach. I think we got to clean up some things. I thought we blew some assignments, and most of those that we blew defensively is when we had freshmen in the game and the miscommunication. The tough thing about freshmen, and I'll tell these guys that you have to over-communicate. So a lot of our breakdowns on the defensive end because we had the young guys involved.
How much different is this lineup gonna look? I know obviously the rebounding was a little bit of an issue tonight, but how much different is this lineup gonna look when Mandy's in there in terms of rebounding the ball?
It's different. Listen, this guy's the best defensive player in the country. He's long, he's athletic, but not only that, he's a leader. He knows where to be. He can put people in different places. And so you lose that when you don't have him out there, when you're relying on really essentially two freshmen and Jalen and EB to make those decisions.
How has Thomas Allen looked this preseason, and what did you think of his performance tonight?
Thomas Allen is the weirdest deal I've ever coached. And I'm gonna tell you why I say that. So we chart practice, and we chart the exhibition, and obviously this one, and I've got a running chart, how much you average, all of it, all the way down. I got a stat sheet from the time we practice. He bothers me a little bit because he's taken 62% of his shots have been twos. Think about that. 62%. And I needed to be flipped. I needed him to take 62% of his shots to be threes and 38% be twos. And, that's one of the things we tell them, that you got a green light. You got to be that guy that takes those shots. And so if I can get him to figure that out, usually a coach don't have to tell you to shoot threes, but that's one of the ones I'm struggling with him right now.
Is this the best, you would think, 3-point shooting thing you've had since you've been?
It's too early to tell. I do know we got some shot makers, and I won't necessarily call them 3-point shooters. Those guys can make shots.
Were you okay with Jonas openly cheering for Elizabeth City tonight?
Absolutely, yes. Hey, Jonas don't have that degree from Elizabeth City. He's not working right now. And so I told him, I'm proud of him. This is, you guys don't know the backstory about it, but Jonas came to me and he begged me to play this game, and I said, no, I want to. No, Jonas has been great. Until Elizabeth City, I'm happy for those guys. What I mean by that is they had their entire season taken away last year. They didn't get a chance to play, and they competed, and they're going to be good in their league, and they're going to get better. And coach has done a great job with them. And the only thing that I think the coach whispered to me on the way out, he's like, I wish Jonas would give back. I wish he would make a big donation. And Jonas, is that right? Have you given any money?
I give a little bit, yeah.
Guys, did y'all hear that?
Can we get on record? I give a little bit.
Can we get a pledge right now on camera that Jonas is going to give Elizabeth City $1,000?
No, absolutely not.
All right.
I got an though. No, absolutely not.
Well, look, he's excused for that because he's right. He has a baby.
Coach, I know you been light. I know you comfortable in the polo and the jacket, but when you look down there, Coach Walker and Sharp, you
Yeah,
wish I just with a suit on tonight.
I said, Coach, what are you doing? And he says, man, Coach, I'm going to get these opportunities. I'm going to dress in person. I said, my man.
I was gonna ask you who his tailor was, man.
He looks sharp now. I'm going to watch him for the rest of the game to see if he looks that sharp now. I got to look at him and tell him it's an exhibition. You can't bring your best suit on at the exhibition.
I know we've asked you about this before, but are
Yeah.
you going back to the suits this year, or are you?
We're probably not.
Okay.
I will tell you that now. You're probably going to see this look. I won't tell you that every now and then I won't throw on a sports coat. But you won't probably see a tie, and you probably look at city casual look. That's kind of the sense. Since it's across the ACC, not that it's mandatory, but I think everybody wants to be, like the look that we have now. And it helps. The NBA is doing the same thing right now. And so the days of us wearing suits are probably gone right now.
Yeah.
Thanks, Coach.
All right,
I was not openly cheering. I don't care what give you